Hi everybody, I have a new artist for you this week. Her name is Lois Jones. She lived to be 93 years old, and within her lifespan, being born in 1905 and living up to 1998, she accomplished a lot. She had a lot of obstacles to overcome due to the color of her skin. She was the first African American woman to graduate from art school. She did this with the help of her brothers, who helped pay for her college, and perseverance. She is one of the sweetest and kindest artists. I love watching interviews with her. I've chose this photo of her painting on an easel with a cute little cat on her shoulder because I feel like it embodies her sweet nature. Here are some examples of her artwork in her later years. She always incorporated African culture. She did this through masks, and she also did this through textiles. And textiles are cloth and clothing that people wear in Africa, and you can see this in the patterns in the background. So a lot of the clothing and cloth that they would make in Africa had intricate colors and patterns of bright oranges, yellows, and blues, often with zigzags and circles and repeating patterns very similar to Zentangles. She also worked with a style where she would take a lot of organic shapes and make them into animals that kind of remind me of like a Native American style. This one was done in 1979. And it's done with watercolor. Here are two of my favorites. These are with oils. You can see the African patterns. You can see the African masks. Pay attention to the color of using black and bright colors like bright blues and reds and purples. She is a type of surreal artist because she does hyper-real paintings of humans, but then more of a dreamlike background, often with the same patterns found in African tribes. She was not born in Africa, but her ancestors were, and she researched where she came from. Here's one with more masks, and also one of an African king or an Egyptian king, because Africa is in Egypt, or Egypt is in Africa. I'm so sorry. I do have a video, but your teachers will be able to watch this either now, you can pause the video, or come back to it in a bit. Here's some examples of where masks come from in Africa. In different regions, they look different. Often they use shells, leaves, seeds, paint to add to their masks. Masks have certain meanings, religious meanings, holiday-related activities. People would be wearing masks. And here are a few more examples. Take a nice look at how even the masks are. So they're symmetrical, like a butterfly's wing. So what you do on one side, you do to the other. Okay, I think we're ready to jump into our artwork. So I'm going to stop sharing PowerPoint. And here are 3 examples of what I have done. Now, you have the freedom to create any sort of mask you like. But what I need you to do is think of a butterfly's wing. So what you do on one side, you must do to the other. So take a nice look at this. Look at how we're doing repeating dots, triangles. The mouths can be different. The eyes can be different. The background are going to be colorful patterns, just like in her artwork. So we are going to start up with a warm-up. And our warm-up is going to consist of creating 3 masks. So you're going to design 3 of your own masks. So we're going to come up with some zigzags and designs, kind of like a Zentangle. We're going to make sure whatever you do on one side, you do to the other. And we're going to create 3 masks. So I'm going to have everyone put their pencil in the air. And you're going to wave it like you just don't care. And we have to fit 3 ovals. So we're going to start with the middle, and we're going to do an oval. One on the left, and one on the right. They don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to be that pretty, because they are a warm-up. I want you to put a line down your middle mask. Because remember, if you make a mark here, you have to make a mark over here. It is symmetrical like a butterfly's wing. Alright, let's come up with some designs. African textiles often have zigzags. They often have circles that continually get larger and then smaller. We could do triangles with circles in between the triangles is a popular one. We can do spirals. We can make the spirals longer. We can have lines that are long and then progressively get shorter. Lines that are in a sort of pattern. And we're going to come down here and we are going to practice a few eye and mouth shapes. So for the eyes, you can do a half circle, a full circle, a line. So these are some good eyes. For the mouth, you can do the same thing, a half circle, a circle, or a line. We can even do triangles too. So the triangle could be an eye or a mouth. So think of these shapes when you're choosing your mouths, your nose, and your eyes. Alright, let's start with our middle mask. My first eye, I'm going to do some semicircles. Whatever I do on one side, I do to the other. So if I put a line here, put a line here. If I make a smaller line here, I put a smaller line here. We can do triangles like that. We're basically just adding designs, but you have to copy on the same side. You guys see that? So if I put a dot here, I have to go and put the same dot in the same place here. So I'm going to allow you to come up with your 2 own masks. I'm going to give you about a minute each. So you have a minute to do this one and a minute to do that one. So yours do not have to look like mine. You can create your own. I might want to do some pointy teeth. I'll leave these up here for some examples. All right, about 1 more minute. Remember to incorporate different designs, different eye shapes, different mouth shapes, because you're doing a variety of masks until you like one. Okay, so hopefully that's enough time. If not, you can always pause the video. And we don't need to spend too much time on this. This is just a warm-up, getting used to doing symmetrical lines, doing designs, and planning out what your mask is looking like. So we're going to go ahead and jump to the next step, which includes your oil pastels and your paper. We're going to go ahead and put our name and flip over our paper. And we need, oh, my paper is a little messy. We need to draw a large oval. I'm going to have you grab, let's see, I'm going to have you grab a gray or white. So use a gray or white oil pastel. Doesn't matter whichever one. And you're going to do 2 fingers from the top and 2 fingers from the bottom. A finger from the side, the left side, and a finger from the right side. So we have a total of 4 circles, or 4 dots. We are in portrait, because we're doing a mask, so we're not in landscape. We are in portrait. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the top ones are 2 fingers, the bottom is 2 fingers, and then the left and right is 1 finger. And then you're just going to go ahead and draw that oval. Now these masks are typically made out of wood, so our very last step is to add some brown around our mask. We are going to keep the mask the color of the paper, so that dark blue. And I'm going to go ahead and make this oval as big as I can. Nice oval. Okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and map out our mouths. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a mouth that kind of looks like, let's see, I'm going to do a nice smile kind. So I'm going to do a long line and down. So that's the mouth. My nose is going to be a line and a triangle. And then my eyes, I think, are going to be little rectangles. Now, like I said, you do not have to draw the same mask as I am. But we are going to do the facial features first. So we're going to do the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Now, your nose and mouth does not have to look like mine. I have some examples here of different mouths. You came up with a few examples here. So choose what your mouth is going to look like. Choose what your nose is going to look like. Choose what your eyes are going to look like. They do not have to look like mine. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and map out. I think I'm going to do some triangles on the forehead. Maybe a few lines here. And whatever I do on one side, I do to the other. Do some lines down here. Maybe I'll have some circles that are up here. Alright, so we are done vaguely mapping everything out. We're going to go in with our black oil pastel, and maybe we need to darken up the eyes and color in the eyes, and the mouth, and the nose. So that is our next step. Then you can add a little more detail with your black oil pastel. Think of patterns. Think of what will make sense on your mask. But whatever you do on one side, you do to the other. I'm going to come in with a color next. So I'm going to use orange. And maybe I'll do a zigzag here. Maybe I'll color in these lines here. And you're just going to choose what to color in, what color, what kind of patterns you want. It's all up to you. You remember, you can leave some of the color of the blue paper like I did. There's plenty of blue paper. The cool thing about these masks is they're all made out of organic material like plants and wood, leaves, all sorts of things. I like to outline the mouth and the eyes in another color. I chose blue. And once you have all of your fun designs, you are going to outline your mask with a brown. So just choose any of the brown, and you're going to have to outline your mask with the brown. Once you have your mask outlined in the brown, we are going to add some patterns to the outside. So I'm going to give some time. I know a lot of people like to add fun designs. Take your time. And when you are ready, we're going to get our black oil pastel. It's so fun just to keep adding and adding intricate details. I really enjoy this project. It's a lot of fun. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to find the corner and bring a line down with your black oil pastel. So each corner, you're going to come and meet your mask. It's like drawing a giant X, but you're not seeing the X in between, on top of the face. So each corner, you just make a line come down. And then you have some options. You can do stripes and solid colors. You can do polka dots and solid colors, circles, half circles and solid colors. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and pick one side, and I'm going to do stripes. So it's like a checkered pattern where it goes solid color, pattern, solid color, pattern, okay? So there shouldn't be two patterns next to each other or two solid colors. And remember, your pattern doesn't have to be the same pattern I chose stripes. And then I get to pick what colors I want my solid color to be. So I'm going to do yellow up here. And you can layer those colors, so maybe I do a little bit of rusty yellow on top of the yellow, just making it a little more interesting to look at, a little more texture. Because texture makes your drawings interesting. Because just a flat yellow doesn't look as interesting as a yellow with some other colors in it. And then maybe I'll pick like a light blue. Maybe I'll put a little bit of green inside of this light blue. So I'm going to take the light green, add a little bit of light green to it. And then you have options with your stripes. Maybe you want to make them solid black stripes with one color. Definitely leave some of the dark blue. I think that would look really nice. So I think I'm going to color some of these in. Over here I colored mine in orange. These masks have a lot of symbolic meaning, which is very important to a lot of African culture, and that's why Lois liked to add them in almost all of her paintings, because it connected her to her ancestors. And you did your Lois Mailou artwork with her African masks. I really enjoy this project. Thank you so much for staying with me and drawing with me. You learned about dividing your mask in half, and whatever you do on one side, you do to the other. It's fun to give your mask some facial expressions. I hope you enjoyed the YouTube videos I connected to this lesson as well that go into depth about the history of the artist and the masks. If you have any issues with the links, go ahead and copy the link and paste it into a browser, and it should work. I know YouTube has been a little strange lately. Alright, so thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you next week, and have a great Monday. Bye, guys!